Are you ready for the most ridiculous advice in fantasy football? If so, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Now, without any further ado, here they are. It's Terrbiculus and Rondiculus.
Hello, and welcome to week 15 of the Terrbiculus and Rondiculus show. I'm Terrbiculus, joined by Rondiculus. We're together this week.
We are, absolutely, yes. Hey, Terry,
it's
how
good
are you?
to see you, Ron.
You too, Terry. How's everything going?
It was good until Monday Night Football. You know, our Browns lost. It was a great game, though.
It was an instant classic. It was an awesome game.
Really
Unfortunately, they didn't come out on the winning side, but they looked pretty good at their defense. They gave up a lot of rushing yards, but
it was a huge rushing game on both sides, actually.
Absolutely. So it was a great game, and they're still in good shape. So they just got to get it turned around this week, and got the Giants, which they got a good defense. So it could be a tough game, but Sunday Night Football. So we'll see.
Hopefully, we can win that game. So
absolutely.
Let's get on to the real business. Talk about last week, about all of our wonderful picks, and it was a rough week last week.
It was a rough week for me, yeah.
It was a rough week for me.
Yeah, for Terrbiculus and Rondiculus show, it wasn't the greatest week. We didn't have the best picks for you, but you know what happens. You know, you can't win them. We can't win them all.
We can't be perfect every week, guys.
Absolutely.
We try.
I know you think we are, but we just can't be. So, but so the winning lineup had 206.84 points. They used $59,900 of their salary, so they left $100 on the table. 4 of our suggestions ended up in the winning lineup. David Montgomery, Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, and the Dallas defense. They used a Tua game stack. They used Tua, they had Jeremy Grant, and they brought it back with Tyreek Hill. And they also used Gesicki. So Jeremy Grant got hurt. He only had 4.7 points.
Yeah.
And this person had a player that only had 4.7, and they still won, the tournament. So it can happen. You can have one player miss, but the other ones have to hit for you. So they had a good lineup. Tua was only 0.9% owned. He was in. Again,
would you have played? I stayed away from him.
He hasn't really done anything.
Yeah.
He really tore it up last week, so congratulations to him and the Dolphins. But, so whoever the players that played him, less than 1%, they're the ones that got to the top, and that happens. That happens from time to time. So if you pick that game to stack it, and they didn't have anything outrageous as far as their players go. The other players they had was Allen Robinson, and like I said, the other players we meant, and Grant. So Allen Robinson is the only one I didn't mention, but so it wasn't an outrageous.
No, the big surprise was the Dallas defense.
The Dallas defense, yes. Which I suggested.
Yeah, I know you did.
But I didn't have to blame them, so I'm an idiot.
No.
So I need to listen to myself more. But
that's what we talk about every week.
Yeah, and you picked Washington's defense, who was actually the top scoring defense. So we did good on their defenses last week. So, that's about it for last week. We'll move on to week 15. I just want to forget week 14. So
week 15's got to be a lot better. So.
Yes, our game of the week was a dud. Players were duds. So week 15, here we go. So
this is going to be much better.
It is. It can't be worse.
Exactly. So, tell me who your game of the week is for next week.
I'm going with Kansas City, New Orleans.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's a 51.5 point total, playing in a dome. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. So that's my game of the week. Who do you have?
It very well could be. I've got a really surprise for you.
Okay.
I'm going with Philadelphia, Arizona.
I thought about that.
I think that's going to be a really high scoring game.
I like it. I think it could be too. Absolutely.
It's amazing Philadelphia is still in the playoff run.
Absolutely. They're in NFC East, so absolutely.
Exactly. So
Jalen Hurts looked good.
Jalen Hurts looked really good. I'm going with them. I think we look for high scoring. That's what I'm going with.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, nice pick.
Yeah.
Nice pick. And I don't know what the total is on that one, but I'll look it up and we'll get it on the video for you. But I think that's going to be a good game. Absolutely. So, excuse me.
Well,
that's our games of the week.
I'm going to start with the quarterbacks this week.
Absolutely. You get us started, and let's see who you got for your top pick.
I hate to say this. My top pick is going to be Lamar Jackson.
Yeah?
8,200. They're playing Jacksonville in Baltimore.
Yeah.
He lit it up.
Absolutely.
He seems to be focused in now. They're trying to get to this wild card. I don't think they can win the division, but they're focusing on overtaking the Browns really. So,
yeah, absolutely.
And he played really well.
He did, and that's the thing. You hate to play players from teams you don't like, but when you're playing daily fantasy sports, you've got to put that to the side. If you want to try to win money, you got to pick the players who you think are going to have the best games, and he could definitely have a great game.
I mean, even based on his performance on Monday night, you saw what a dynamic runner he is. I'm always worried he's going to get hurt when he's running like that, but
yeah, he's so elusive.
He's very elusive. So he's going to be my top play this week at 8,200.
All right, my top play is going in with my game. I'm going with Taysom Hill.
Oh wow,
7,500 versus Kansas City. He's got the rushing upside, and I think it's thinking about playing at Kansas City. If you're up by 21 or you're down by 21, he's still going to be throwing because Kansas City is so explosive. Mm-hmm. So even if you have a 21-point lead, that's not safe with Kansas City. Mm-hmm. So I think they're going to constantly have the foot on the gas and be scoring as many points as they can. So I like him. He's not the greatest quarterback, but he's got the rushing upside. So that's why I like him at 7,500.
That's what I was just going to say. Taysom Hill's probably not the best quarterback, but you're right. He's got that running ability too, and especially they've taken when they're down on the goal line.
He's been taking those carries.
He has. He's been taking points away from Kamara.
Kamara, exactly.
Who I love to play, but
exactly.
I'm always afraid now with Taysom Hill as the number one quarterback there. So
absolutely.
Good choice. I didn't really think about him.
Yeah. So that was my top choice. My next choice is a little more expensive, but it's Tom Brady, 7,900 versus Atlanta. Mm-hmm. Atlanta's weak against the pass. The only thing about Tom Brady is if you're playing him and you want to do a game stack, you just don't know what players to play with him because he's got a lot of weapons he can go to. But I like him a lot. I think he has a big game. Atlanta's allowing the most fantasy points per game to quarterbacks. They're allowing 23.8 FanDuel points per game. They've allowed 56 explosive plays. So I think he has a big game. So he's my next one. Who do you have?
Probably based on Atlanta.
Exactly.
I'm going to go with Jared Goff at 7,800.
Okay.
They're playing the Jets.
Yeah.
They're still playing, and still they're tied with Seattle in their division. So they've got to play the Jets hard.
Yeah.
So they've got to make sure that they win that game. They should be able to win that game, but I still think that Jared Goff will have a good game against them based on the fact that they're still trying to win their division.
And they're playing the Jets.
I mean,
that's always good.
I always look at that.
Exactly. That always helps. Exactly. Last week Wilson played the Jets and had 30 fantasy points. So and they blew them out like 37-3 or something. I mean, it was a blowout. I can't remember the score, but So all right. So who else do you have for us at quarterback?
And then I'm going to go with Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
Fantastic. I mean, I'm all about Jalen Hurts right now. I mean, he's only 6,900. He's a good value play for you. They're still in the hunt for their division.
Yeah.
Well,
it's your game of the week.
It's my game of the week. And he impressed me a lot last week.
Yeah.
Really did. He came in great runner, great pass. I mean, just overall for 6,900, and you need that. If you need that savings, I think I might go with Jalen Hurts.
Okay, absolutely. My cost saving quarterback is Jalen Hurts as well. Same things you said.
I think that's the first. That's the first we agreed on this week.
So it is the first one this week. But like I said, the rushing upside. He ran 18 times last week and had 106 yards.
I know.
If you get that from your quarterback, that's awesome, especially at 6,900. If he does that again, like I said, throwing-wise, he's kind of like Taysom Hill. Not the greatest, but he does what he has to do,
But something Philadelphia hasn't seen, with Carson Wentz in their quarterback.
Absolutely.
Jalen Hurts came in very dynamic. And you said 106 yards he had rushing?
He had 106, on 18 carries. Yeah, so that's awesome.
I know.
That's 10.6 fantasy points right there.
Some of the running backs get. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, he was a good play, I think.
You got to love the rushing upside on the quarterback. So Jalen Hurts, I like that too at 6,900.
And I have two good rushing quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts.
Absolutely. And I think I have one with Hill and Hurts. Hill and Hurts as well. So absolutely. So I like our quarterback picks. I think we're off to a good start.
I want to throw in there, I like Russell Wilson too. They're playing Washington. I mean, they're, like I said, because of the playoff picture with them and the Rams, I think Russell Wilson will have a great game. He's a little bit more expensive. I didn't put him in there, but he's 8,400. So if you want to take a look at him,
I don't know about Washington's defense. It's they're legit.
That's why
but he could still, absolutely,
at 8,400. You might want to consider that only because of the playoff picture.
Yeah,
that's why I would consider him.
Absolutely, I understand. Absolutely. So he's a great quarterback. So absolutely, could always have a great game
and another good running quarterback too.
Absolutely. So all right, very good.
Yeah.
So who do you have for your top running back?
I hate to sound like a broken record, but this is going to be Derrick Henry's going to be my number one pick. Although he's very expensive, he's 10,200 this week.
Yeah.
But they're playing to Detroit, and in their division they're tied with Indianapolis. So he's got to have another good game, another good week. He had a great week last week.
Yeah.
So
that's the second player we agree on. I have Henry as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Same thing. They're playing Detroit.
He's hard to pass up.
Yeah, and Detroit's allowing the most fantasy points per game on FanDuel. They're allowing 28.9. So Henry's a stud.
Yeah.
So I like him a lot at 10. He's expensive, like I said, 10,200. But yeah, he's a good play.
I've got some, in case you can't play him, I've got some other good value picks too.
Okay, I got a couple later as well. I wonder if we're going to agree with them.
I
got some later, so we'll see. So
yeah, I'm surprised that we agreed on Derrick Henry because he is so expensive. He is
expensive.
If you can pay up, I would definitely pay up for him.
Yeah.
This week.
Absolutely.
That's what I think.
I think so. I think this week, I think you can actually go with a more balanced lineup. I don't think you have to pay up for the studs. I think there's a lot of good people in the mid-range, but absolutely, if you can get him in there, if you can find a way to get him in there, he can get 30. He's got 30 plus fantasy points in 2 of the last 3 games. And that's what you want at 10,200. That's what you need at 10,200.
Right.
So, and he can definitely do it.
That.
Yeah. So I like him a lot too. Like I say, he's my top play as well. Who's your next guy you got?
My next play, again, I'm going to sound like a broken record because I've really been hot on Jonathan Taylor. He's 7,400. He had a great game last week, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. And I talked about him last week.
You did.
About how the fact that, he hadn't seen the end zone. He had a great game, like 130 yards, but no TDs. He ended up having 2 TDs last week. So, and they're playing Houston at Houston this week. He's a good value play, I think.
I agree. He's my second pick as well. So, yeah. I just saw your picks last week, and they were so good, so I just copied you. So, no, 7,400 playing Houston. You like to target running backs against Houston. They've allowed the second most FanDuel points per game. They're allowing 28.1. Last 2 games, he's had great games. I think he's taken over as the lead back there in Indianapolis. So I like that pick a lot. Great pick.
Perfect.
So absolutely.
I've been hot on him for some reason.
Yeah, he's definitely he's he kind of started off slow. Everyone thought he was going to take over early in the season, but he has now. And since he's come back from the COVID list, he got healthy, and I guess he's figured out the offense and he's clicking, so that's awesome.
That's exactly what I liked about him.
Yeah,
too,
so good pick.
I'm going to go with the third week in a row with Jonathan Taylor.
It's a good pick. I like it. So, you have anybody else at running back for us?
I was torn between these two, DeAndre Swift and Miles Sanders. I think I'm going to go with Miles Sanders. They're pretty much the same price, $6,800 for Miles Sanders. Again, my game of the week. They're in Arizona. Yeah, but Miles tore it up last week.
He did.
So I'm going to stick with Miles Sanders over DeAndre Swift.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine is a little bit like yours is 6,800.
68.
So mine is 6,700. He's playing against the Jets. Cam Akers.
Oh yeah.
I think there's such a huge. I think Goff could have a good game, but I think get up early. Akers last game out, he had 29 carries for 171 yards. So he's taken over in the Rams backfield. So he's 6,700. I like him a lot. So this week,
that's a good value play.
Yeah, 6,700 exactly. I think he's way too cheap. So he can't miss. Cam Akers can't miss.
Don't ever say that. We don't ever say that.
I don't think he
looks good.
Yeah, I don't think he has a mustache either. So I think we're good there. So yeah, so Cam Akers, I like him at 6,700.
Don't play players with mustaches.
That's right. We find that doesn't work very well. So they tend to fumble on the first play of the game and they get in the doghouse.
Let's not talk about that.
All right, absolutely.
You can't miss.
Yeah, Cam Akers.
I'm never saying that again. You can't miss.
He makes me nervous because he's my player this week. I'm thinking, man, he just can't miss. He just can't miss. He's going to have 30 plus fans, so he's probably going to put a dud up. So, but anyway, he should have a good game. On paper, he should have a great game. They're big. They're 17-point favorites, I believe. Yeah, exactly. Don't. But no, he on paper he's got a great matchup. Like I said, they're home favorites, and they get up. They'll just keep running him, and I think so.
You think?
Yeah, I think.
Unless he fumbles.
Exactly right. So no, I like him a lot. So those are the 3 running backs I have.
Okay.
All right, you ready for receivers?
Yeah, let's see who you got, Ron.
Okay, my top wide receiver is Allen Robinson, second, 7,300 versus Minnesota. They've allowed 20 touchdowns to wide receivers on the year. He's been hot the last few weeks. Minnesota's weak against wide receivers, so I like him a lot. I think he has a big game again this week. He had 20 plus points. He was in the winning lineup last week. I think he's going to be in the winning lineup again this week. I think he has a good matchup.
Cool. I'm going with Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
I know he's expensive. 9,300. They're playing New Orleans. They are tough against the pass defense.
Yeah.
But
he's Tyreek Hill.
He's Tyreek Hill. That's exactly what I was going to say. He's Tyreek Hill. He's a stud.
Yeah.
9,300. I think he's going to pay off, actually. They're going to play tough. So,
yeah.
And he always has a good game.
Yeah.
So he can't miss.
Another can't miss. It's all coming together. So, absolutely. Okay, I like it.
Did you play him? No.
I don't have him in my. I've only have a couple lines thrown together. It's early in the week, but he's so expensive.
He is.
Keep an eye on him. I think he's fine, but they said he tweaked his hamstring or something at the very end of the game.
Good to know. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think he's going to be fine, but I don't think. Yeah, so I think he's going to be fine. But keep an eye on that.
He's going to be tough to put in a lineup if you're playing a high-priced receiver and a high-priced running
I don't know if you can get Henry and
I don't think so
and
either.
High Hill in there. You may be able to, but you have to find a lot of value.
You're going to have to listen to some of Ron's value picks in order to get that together.
Right, exactly. I didn't go too crazy this week, so I don't know. We'll see. But,
I didn't either. I mean, it was tough again this week.
I don't think you have to. Like I said, I think you can go more balanced lineup. You don't have to get crazy. So I think you can really do that and do well this week. My next wide receiver goes with my game is Michael Thomas, 7,000 versus Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
He's been getting more targets the last couple games. Taysom Hill's been looking to him, and once again, like I said, New Orleans is going to have to score a lot of points, I think, to win this game. So I think he has a good game. He has no touchdowns on the year, which is odd for him. So I'm looking for positive regression. It's just not typical for him. So I think he gets to the end zone once or twice this week. So
that's exactly what I thought about him last week, too. I suggested playing Michael Thomas because he hasn't found the end zone this year. So he's due. I thought he was due last
Absolutely,
week.
yeah. So he's even more due now because
it was a no-brainer. He couldn't miss. But again, he missed.
Exactly. We just had to push it to week 15.
Maybe we're just too far ahead of ourselves. Maybe we should go back to last week.
Exactly. Exactly. So I like him at 7,000. Who's your next guy up?
I'm going to go with Robert Woods. The Rams.
Yeah.
Pair him up, stack him with Goff.
Yeah.
It's always tough with these two, with the Rams, though, the receivers, because you never know whether he's going to go to Cooper Kupp or if he's going to go to Robert Woods.
And I think if you play Goff, I think you can actually be different and play both of them.
Yeah.
Because they both could do well.
They could. And I think I've done that. I think I've done that before where I've played Kupp and Woods.
Absolutely. I think because that way, like I said, the chances are if Goff has a great game, Kupp or Woods is going to have a great game, and then the other one can have a good game and still get you to where you need to be. So you can play both. So that way, you're like same thing like on the Minnesota side with Thielen and Jefferson, because those are the two main targets in the passing game. So you could do both of them. So I like both. I like Woods and Goff, absolutely. So good pick.
I went with Woods. So
yeah, you like Woods. Okay.
Yeah, I do. I like Cooper Kupp too, but
and Woods is how much?
7,400.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Absolutely.
And I think Cooper Kupp is pretty much the same price.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Nice.
Very similar.
Yeah, they're pretty close. I think they're typically pretty close each week. Yeah. Who else do you have for us at wide receiver?
I'm going to go with. Here's my value pick for you. At 6,900, I'm going to go with Brandon Ayuk.
I like it.
In San Francisco.
I like it a lot.
They're playing Dallas. I think they're in Dallas.
They are playing in Dallas.
They're in Dallas, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I know. They're dead last against the pass.
Yeah.
I looked at him too. I had him on my short list, but he's a great play. He's been getting tons of targets too. So so I like him a lot. Nice pick.
I think if you're looking at an expensive running back, that's why I wanted to get something a little bit more inexpensive.
Yeah.
I think they'll be passing.
Yeah, absolutely. So I like Ayuk a lot, and you're gonna like my value pick. He's one of your favorite receivers that you always go to, and he always burns you. T.Y. Hilton at 6,800.
You know what?
Versus Houston.
And I played him last week, though. I didn't recommend him last week, but I did play him in one of my lineups, and he's been doing much better.
See, folks, that's what he does. He doesn't. He plays it. I played him. I didn't tell you about him. No, I mean that happens, but no, just
see you do the opposite. You tell people.
I know they don't play him, and then they go off. I know exactly, but no, Hilton. They're playing Houston. They've allowed 18 touchdowns to wide receivers. He's got 15 plus fantasy points the last 3 games. So I think him and Rivers are finally on the same page. I think that was the issue early in the season. So, and he had a little bit of injury issues early in the season. So I think he's healthy now. So I like him a lot. 6,800.
Yeah.
And they're playing Houston. And Allen Robinson had a good game against Houston last week. So I'm going back to targeting Houston and as well. I think you can play Taylor in Hilton, and they can both do well because that happened last week, and actually in the winning lineup last week.
Yeah.
Montgomery and Robinson were both in the winning lineups, and they both had 20 plus fantasy points. So I like both of them actually.
Go ahead and play him because I don't think I'm playing him because usually when I play T.Y. Hilton, he has a horrible game.
Exactly.
And I'm just burnt out with him.
Yeah, but last 3 weeks he's getting it going, and I like him a lot. So So that means that this week that Michael Pittman Jr. is going to be the one that goes off.
No, exactly.
So, you know,
and he was one of your sleepers one week. Michael Pittman Jr. was.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was, yeah. But yeah, no, I like Hilton. I like him, and I think he has a good game. So
okay, sounds good.
do you have? That's our receivers.
Those are my receivers.
All right, let's get on to tight end. Then.
I'll go to tight ends. I'm going to go to that Baltimore game again. I'm going to have to go with Mark Andrews at 6,800. He's a little bit more expensive for tight ends, but again, Lamar Jackson seems to like him a lot.
Yeah.
Especially around the end zone.
Exactly.
And then he didn't do much in Monday night at the beginning of the game. The second half, he kind of kicked it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I think he'll be worth it at 6,800. And again, they're playing Jacksonville. They're not playing the Browns, so
Yeah.
the Browns are a much tougher team. So
I think he's a good play to go with Lamar Jackson. I like him a lot. So like I said, he didn't get a touchdown last week. Excuse me. I think he gets one this week.
It's hard. It's hard with Lamar Jackson because when you're down there in the end zone, in the red zone,
exactly,
he can always run it.
He can run it in exactly. So
screw up all your lineups.
Exactly,
for all the other players. So
my stud at tight end. I'm going to go a little more expensive. I'm going Kelsey, 8,500.
You always go him.
I know.
You love.
Well, this
Travis
is why
Kelce. Yeah.
they're playing New Orleans and. I was watching ESPN the other day. They were talking and said that Travis Kelce actually has a chance to lead the NFL in receiving this year, which has never happened for a tight end.
Wow.
I mean, that's how good of a year he's having. And he had 20-plus fantasy points again last week. So I think that's 4 of the last 5 weeks now he's had 20-plus. So he's just amazing. He's a wide receiver in the tight end position.
Right.
But you're paying for him. 8,500, he's very expensive, so he's going to have to get 20-plus in order for him to pay off for you.
Especially for the tight end position. That is almost like a receiving position.
It is. Yeah. It is. So you're paying up, but I think, people may be scared to pay up for him, but I'm going to do it. So I like him at 8,500, even though it's really expensive.
You like him every week.
Yeah. Well, because he's good. So pick the good players, So, I like him. And then my next one up is Rob Gronkowski at 6,300.
I looked at Gronk, actually, because, I think they will have a good game. And, he's due again.
Exactly. Atlanta's allowed the third most fantasy points per game to tight ends. So I like him. Like I said, you just don't know who Brady's going to throw to on a given week. But
that's the whole problem.
But I think this could be Gronkowski's week. I think, he gets a touchdown. 50 yards and a touchdown, he's paid off for you. So I like him. I like him at 6,300, a little cost savings.
Yeah, I'm giving him more cost savings too. I'm going to go with Tyler Higbee, the Rams.
Yeah.
Against the Jets. I always seem to focus on that,
Well, you want to target the weak defenses, so absolutely. That's a smart strategy.
I do, and so I'm going to go with him at 5,700. He's a good value, but he can't go wrong.
Yeah.
He can't go wrong. Watch the Jets kill him.
I know. Well, actually, you know what?
There's always a
that's the thing, too, is when you're targeting these games, you got to ask yourself, is the team on the other side going to be able to score and kind of keep it close? So your offensive guys can keep playing and not say they can't have a good game, but they get up early. If they're up 28 to nothing at halftime, how much are they going to get in the second half?
That's the whole problem. You just never know about that too.
So look at the backside of it. If the Jets you want the Jets to keep it close because that way Goff has to keep throwing and so you hope that the Jets can score and keep it close. But Higbee's a good play. My value play is going back to the New Orleans game. Jared Cook.
Oh yeah,
he's 5,600 against Kansas City. They allowed the fourth most fantasy points per game to tight ends, and he's got 20.52 total air yard percentage, which is awesome for a tight end. So he's getting 20% of all their air yards. So for tight end, that's really, really good. So I like him a lot. Like I said, I think they're going to have to score a lot. So I like him, and I think Kansas City's a little weaker against the tight end. So I like him at 5,600 a lot.
I looked at him too, but I didn't go with him. I went with Trey Burton. Indianapolis game again, and I'm looking at these playoffs too, this playoff picture.
Absolutely.
So I think they're going to be really playing tough. So Trey Burton, he's done fairly well this year. He's only 5,400.
Yeah. He's had some good games
against
for sure.
Houston again. So I think it might be another good week for him as well.
Yeah, and take note, Terry's been really on with his tight ends this year. So you've done a good job with the tight ends for sure.
Right.
So I'm
off and on with the running backs.
Yeah, so So I like Burton. I think that's a good play.
And he doesn't have a mustache.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
there you go. Absolutely. And a couple times this year they've used him on the goal line for like sweeps and stuff, and he's running in. So that's awesome too. So if you can get that, that's great. So of course we don't want, if you're playing Jonathan Taylor, you don't want that because
right. Usually he usually has a bad game when I don't recommend him, or when I don't play him. He has a great game when I do. So it's the opposite. So you may want to. He may have grown a mustache, so
maybe no. So we keep talking about that because one of our listeners said, "I'm not playing any players with mustaches anymore. They never do good."
Especially after my recommendation.
Yeah, exactly.
Giovanni Bernard.
Yeah.
First play fumbles.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what we're going with the mustache thing. But so that's what we have for tight ends.
Gardner Minshew is definitely out.
Yeah. Right. Can't go wrong with Minshew.
You can't go
Minshew
with
mania.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So
all right, the defenses I'm always having trouble with, but here's my number one pick: Indianapolis. 4,900 against Houston.
Yeah, they got a good defense. So absolutely, I like it.
Nothing strange. I'm not going any crazy.
Mine is the Rams at 5,000 against the Jets. Like I said, we talk about pressures and interceptions. Jets have 36 sacks allowed, 12 interceptions thrown. The Rams have 42 sacks and 13 interceptions. So I think, especially if they're down, they're going to have to throw to try to catch up. Yeah, it could lead to some Sam Darnold interceptions. So and some positive. Defensive touchdown maybe for the Rams. So I like them at 5,000. And then
they're expensive.
They are. They're the most expensive defense. Yeah. Who's your next defense?
I'll do Tennessee at 3,900.
I like Tennessee. I was looking at them as well. They're playing Detroit. And then Matthew Stafford may not play. It actually sounds like he's not going to play. He's got a rib injury.
Even better.
Yeah. So I like them at 3,900. I was thinking about them. I went down. My next one up is Washington at 4,200 versus Seattle. It's a tough one because Seattle's got such a potent offense, but Seattle, they've allowed 41 sacks and thrown 12 interceptions. So, Wilson's thrown some interceptions lately, and Washington has 40 sacks and 12 interceptions on the year. So, at 4,200, they're playing at home in Washington. So, I think they could be a sneaky play. I think people are going to be afraid to play them because they're playing Seattle. So, it's kind of a risky play, but, in daily fantasy sports, you got to take a little risk, sometimes to pay off to win the big money. So
it might be a good play. Washington's going to be playing hard because
because they're playing for the playoffs as well. So they're in the lead in their division. So they need to win too. So absolutely. So I like them at 4,200. Who else do you have for us?
I'm going to go back to last week. I'm going to go to Dallas.
You are? Okay. All right.
I don't know why I'm doing it. Okay. Their defense played so well last week.
Yeah.
They're 3,600. If you run out of money, you might want to consider Dallas.
Yeah. Well, that when you play Cincinnati, it seems to make your defense better.
That's true. Yeah.
No, Dallas 3,600 playing at home. In San Francisco. Yeah, but the defenses the last couple of weeks against San Francisco have actually performed well. Nick Mullins may actually not even start this week. He's been a kind of a turnover machine. They said that it may be C.J. Beathard. So playing at home. I mean, you never know. And Dallas, got that win. You get confidence, you win. You get confidence. Their defense played good last week. They get, one turnover, couple turnovers. It seems to can turn the tide for you. So I like that at 3,600.
3,600. I mean, if you're running the money, you might want to consider Dallas.
Exactly. My cheap one, I didn't go crazy this week. Mine's Tampa Bay at 4,000. Their defense is pretty good. They're playing Atlanta. Atlanta's 33 sacks allowed. 11 interceptions. Ryan can throw interceptions, and Tampa Bay's got 40 sacks and 14 interceptions. So at 4,000, I think they could be a good play. Cost savings for you.
So,
all right. So now.
On to
the sleepers. Sleeper gem hiddens.
Now I don't have a super sleeper stack for you.
You know what? I liked your super sleeper sleeper. Blah, 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 blah. I can't.
It didn't win. I mean, it was a good super sleeper stack, and I tried to do it this week, but I wasn't able to. So.
I did. I copied you. Yes, I liked what you had there, and I said, yes, I have one for you.
I'm glad you could. I could not come up with one. I did come up with a few sleepers for you.
Okay, I got a couple sleepers, but I got the super, what do you call it? Super
sleeper stack.
Okay, a super sleeper stack. So do you want to hear mine? Okay. So this goes to the Detroit game. So Stafford's probably going to be out this week. So Chase Daniel's going to start. They're probably going to be trailing. So they're going to have to be throwing. Chase Daniel's, he's a decent quarterback. He's been a career backup quarterback. When he's played well. He's 6,500. So I got Chase Daniel at 6,500. Marvin Jones Jr. at 6,100 and Hawkinson at 6,200.
There you go, Ron.
Yeah, so
way to go.
Yeah, so that's my sleeper stack, and then
that is a super sleeper stack.
Exactly, and then if you want, you can actually play Swift too because he's the receiving running back for the Detroit Lions, but I like Daniel Jones and Hawkinson.
I like it.
Yeah, see, you do. Okay.
I couldn't come up with one. I like that. I would have come up with that.
Yeah, so I don't think Stanford's going to play. From everything I've heard, it sounds like he's not going to. So I like that. I think you're going to be trailing. I think Daniel's going to be throwing, and Daniel runs a little bit, not a whole lot, but so you got a little bit of rushing upside with him. So that's my super sleeper stack for you guys this week.
Perfect, because like I said, I couldn't come up with one. I'm glad you did, Ron.
Yes.
We'll try to do this every week.
Yeah.
That's I love it.
Okay, good.
I love it.
All right, perfect.
I love it.
I'm glad you like it.
I tell you, I'm going to give you a running back for a sleeper, and I don't really know if this is really going to be a sleeper, but it may be. J.K. Dobbins for Baltimore at 5,900. What scares me about J.K. Dobbins is, we saw on Monday night again, he shared all that time with Gus Edwards.
Yeah.
Gus Edwards is a little bit cheaper at 5,500. I still think J.K. Dobbins is going to handle most of the backfield, so I think he might be a good play for you if you're looking for some value. Again, playing Jacksonville,
This may be a first. He's one of my sleeper picks too. 5,900. He's clearly the best back there. He is splitting time, but he's been getting more carries than the other guys, and they get out to lead. And, he breaks one big run for a touchdown, which I think he will do. He's a great running back. Ohio State product. I like him a lot at 5,900.
This is a first ever.
Yeah, it is. First time we agreed on a sleeper.
Agreed on a sleeper.
So I think you should probably play him because I think he has a big game. I really do. Now, like I said, once again, people are going to be scared to play him because he splits the backfield.
And that's exactly why I wanted to say.
So maybe don't play him in every lineup, but put him in one or two. If you're playing like 4 or 5 lineups, I like him a lot.
I didn't play him on Monday night. I did play Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards had a great game too.
That was good. That's a good play.
But again, it was a running game on Monday night. So
it was absolutely
both sides,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So nice pick. So who else do you have for us?
I'm going to go with a tight end position.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, at 5,200, I'm going to take Dan Arnold.
Oh, yeah.
In Arizona.
He's been playing well lately.
Very, very well.
Yeah.
4 TDs in the last 4 games. Mm-hmm. Kyler Murray seems to want to connect with him even more. He's more confident with him. I usually don't pick a sleeper tight end, but I'm going to go with Dan Arnold.
Okay, I like it. Nice pick. Nice pick. I have another running back to think about. Now, this is if I lost my train of thought. Antonio Gibson's out again. JT McKissick, 5,800 versus Seattle. So you recommended him last week. I just copied Cherry's picks from last week. So
it might be a good idea.
But McKissick at 5,800 versus Seattle.
He didn't do great last week.
If Antonio Gibson doesn't play, he didn't do bad. So
he was all right.
Yeah. So, but at 5,800, he doesn't have to do much for you to pay off, and he's going to save you some money so you can pay up if you want to get some studs or higher price guys in there. So I like him. And then I have one other value. I have a receiver. It goes into the same game you were talking about earlier with your value is Christian Kirk.
Yeah.
5,300 versus Philadelphia. He hasn't done anything for like the last 6 or 7 weeks. He's a great receiver. And really since Kyler Murray got hurt, he's kind of fallen off the, he's just kind of fallen off the map. But I think he has a big game this week at 5,300. I think it's a bounce back game. I think, like you said, it could be a high scoring game. And then I think they're going to try to shut down DeAndre Hopkins, which is impossible to do. But if they draw double coverage over there, it could open up things for Kirk. And at 5,300, I think he could have a good game.
At 5,300, it might be a good play. I like this. I like the sleeper picks. I don't know if they're really great sleeper picks because I've actually heard your picks, Ron. So usually I wait to hear these ridiculous picks.
I tried to find some for you, but
I did too. I really did. I tried to find some really weird one, but I went really middle of the road this week.
Yeah, and
last week I want to be more conservative.
I don't want to try to be weird. I'm trying to find the guys I think that people are not going to know about. They're going to go off, but I just didn't see any this week that popped off, and I just so I thought I saw Kirk at 5,300 though, so I like that.
That's why I went in the 5,000 range. Those are usually pretty good picks.
Huge,
and like I said, I obviously liked our J.K. Dobbins pick at 5,900. So.
Absolutely, I like that too.
Good luck, everyone, this week.
Best of luck.
Yeah, I hope you win. I don't know what the top prize is.
So top prize this week is $300,000 this week. It's still a $4.44 entry. So,
but there's many other games that you can play. You can play cheaper games if you want to.
Do the cheaper games. You can do the single game entry games. Like I said, it gives you a better playing field. So, or better options. Because you're up. Everyone's playing the same amount of lineups, obviously. So you're not competing with people playing 150 lineups. So look at those single game entries. They have $1 single entries, $2, $5, $10. Whatever your price point you want to play in. But yeah, so I wish everyone good luck this week. I think we got some good picks for you, and best of luck to you, Terry.
And if you forget those things, Ron, you too. If you forget those picks, you can always go to our website at trpcast.com. Look this up. The video will be loaded
tomorrow, Thursday night.
Thursday night, as usual, around 7 o'clock. Ron will have all that great stuff up there for you. Great place to go and just find out where we are on YouTube and all of our Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Facebook. And then also I'll update on Saturday afternoon any player developments that have happened during the week.
All right, we're out of time, Ron. Thanks very much. Good luck with everything. Good luck, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Bye.